Well, then let's just dive into Milwaukee. Let's do it. I had a real problem with Giannis's comments at the end of Game 5 when
Hated
he
him.
when he said, of course, you know, it doesn't matter, it's a failure, you know, yada yada. I hated it. To me, that is a comment, and I told you for the last 2 years, I think Giannis is the best player in the world. Not no more. Uh,
Hmm.
that is a comment that shows me you're not the best player in the world. It shows me, and by the way, Giannis is a great guy. And I heard all these comments. Oh, well, you know, that's a great message for the kids. Joey, you're a softball coach. You coach kids. You know what sports is about. Sports is about winning and losing. It teaches character. It builds toughness. The people that like these comments from Giannis are the same people that like participation trophies.
Let me put it to you this way. So I put a tweet out and I said I don't want to hear one word about, oh, hey, great season, we'll get them next year. No, this year was a failure. You did not complete the job. If you would have won a playoff game,
Are you talking about
I,
the Cavs?
I'm talking about the Cavs,
Okay.
but it's kind of the bigger picture. I was saying, don't tell me great season, you'll get them next year. Because you're saying, oh, good job for doing what you should have done because your team is pretty stacked, except your coach didn't know how to use most of your players in the playoffs, but he knew how to somehow use them in the regular season. I hated that. No, it was not a good season. We got destroyed in the first round when we should have made it to the second round, and anything could have happened. Now the New York Knicks, the media is all over. The Cavs suck. The Knicks are the greatest. And then Giannis comes out and says what you just said. He says, "Oh no, it's not a failure. If you don't get promoted at your job, do you consider yourself a failure?" Yes, if I don't get promoted at my job, I consider myself a failure. You failed, Giannis. You got destroyed by Himmy Butler, not
Himmy
Jimmy,
Butler. That's
not
exactly what
Jimmy,
he is. Himmy
not
Butler.
Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is like LeBron James, or not? I'm sorry, is like Kobe
He
Bryant and
he is.
Michael Jordan combined.
I you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. Think again. I haven't said this on the podcast yet. I'm thinking it in my head. Take injuries into account. Take playoff success. Take everything into account. Players, success, but yada yada yada. Is Jimmy Butler turning into a top 5 player?
No, so I saw a graphic that I agree with. Jimmy Butler from like game 1 to game 60 is like top 20 player in the league.
And I agree.
Jimmy Butler from game 61 to game 82 is a top 10 player in the league. Jimmy Butler at the start of the playoffs becomes him.
Yeah,
He
no,
is
it's
he is
yeah,
the
I
best
know.
player in the NBA during the playoffs. It is not even close. He destroyed the Milwaukee Bucks. Tyler Hero got hurt, and I didn't even. I was like
Yeah,
Tyler. By the
yeah,
end of the
yeah, I
season,
know.
I'm like Tyler who?
Tyler who? That was as impressive a performance from an 8 seed. And the crazy thing is, and I've said this when I made my NBA playoff predictions this year, and I know I remember telling you this last year, I believe.
What team did I tell you people should be afraid of in the East?
The Miami Heat. So there you go. And by the way, I mean they do Heat things. So going into the playoffs, as we know, there has only been in NBA history one team that has not been a top 4 seed that has won the championship. That being, of course, the 1995 Houston Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon, who was hurt for most of the regular season, came back in March. They really weren't a number 6 seed when they won the title that year. That was, of course, Jordan's last year before Jordan came back and won the 3 straight in Chicago.
I mean, I believe Hakeem won 2 back to back, didn't
Yeah,
they?
he
Yeah.
he did one back to back, but I believe that the other team the year before that was like a number 3 seed, I believe.
Yeah.
But this year in the NBA, it's different. And we talked about this. Obviously, there are stars or superstars on almost every team nowadays. We saw the 7 seed Lakers advance. In the East, we're seeing Heat Knicks at 8 versus a 5 in the semifinals. So it's really interesting. Obviously, I think Milwaukee was obviously a huge shock to everyone. I think the Cavs was a huge shock to most of the nation outside of New York. But like I predicted the Lakers to take down Memphis in 6. Golden State, Sacramento, I thought would go 7. I do think, again, we're recording today at the time of this game. I think Golden State's gonna end up winning that series, but I'm really not sure about it. So
I am really rooting for I'm really rooting for the
for
Kings
the
in that
Kings.
one.
Well, I will say, I am
What?
rooting for Golden State because I have a significant future wager on what
Oh,
Golden State. So that is the reason why I am rooting for Golden State. But it also comes with a hockey wager that I was given advice on. That I know nothing about hockey, and the team that I'm rooting for is about to blow a 3-1 lead apparently. So we will see if that wager comes to pass.
let,
But yeah,
let me I do let my final thoughts on Giannis real quick because I agree
sure.
with you. I think his comments were extremely just stupid and I hated him and everything about it. And I had I coach softball, I
Yeah.
coach baseball. I've coached travel teams, both boys and girls. I've coached rec teams, boys and girls. One year I was coaching my daughter and we went to the championship. It was her first season. I had a really scrappy team, not a lot of great players, but they were very scrappy. We got to the championship and we lost. We lost by 3 to a team that had 7 girls who, after the season, went to travel teams. I told my girl that said you played real good, but remember how this feels. And you're talking about girls who were, I believe at that time 7 years old.
Okay.
I said, remember how this feels because next year we want to win the big one. I have the trophy from when we lost. They give you the second place trophy, and I call it the first losers trophy. I
I would
call
have threw it away.
No, nope. I called it the first losers trophy, and I showed it to every single girl on my team the following year because I had most of my team back. The next year, those girls went out, and yeah, you know what? People are like, "Oh, you shouldn't push kids too hard." Really? Because I pushed those girls hard, and we ended up through playoffs and regular season went 17-2 and won the championship.
I love it. Did you
Those
destroy him in the championship?
those girls came back and showed that they wanted and they became champions.
There you go.
If they never played sports again, they could always look back on that moment and say, I gave everything I had and I succeeded, that I became a champion. That is what sports is about. Yes, it's teachable moments. It's learning, it's being teammates. There's a lot of teachable things in sports. And if you remember, I wrote this article a long
Yeah.
time ago about, why I think, youth sports, I put it was youth baseball and softball, but it's youth sports in general, why they're so important for young kids because it teaches them a wide variety. One of them is being successful. And I think that that's a very important thing to learn. So when you see on TV the greatest player in the NBA saying, "Oh, the season wasn't a failure because we didn't win," you're like, "Oh, well, it's okay to suck. It's okay to
Yeah.
be the number one
Yeah.
seed, come out, get destroyed by Hemi Butler, and say, "Oh, well, it wasn't a failure. You were the best player in the freaking NBA. You come out there and you freak out saying, I can't believe we lost. This is on me. This is on my shoulders. We need to be better. The season, okay, we had the best record. We had a great regular season, but we failed. We failed, and we are going to come out next year with a fire like you've never seen, and we are winning that championship." That's what he should have said. He didn't say that. He said, it's okay that we failed, and that is not okay. It is not okay to me.
Okay, well, as we sit here at the time of this recording on April 30th, 2023, obviously the start of the second round is beginning. You're sort of right now, we're sitting here, start of the second round of the playoffs. Who is your prediction to be the NBA Finals matchup as we wrap up the NBA portion of today's show?
I'm gonna go Celtics, and no, I'm sorry. Let me try. I'm going to go the Philadelphia 76ers and the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, I am going to go Boston, and the West to me is a little bit harder. I think it's going to come down to the Lakers or Golden State. I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to stick with my original pick. I'm going to stick with Golden State. I think we are going to get a rematch from last year at this point. But I got to tell you what, that Laker team is pretty scary.
Golden State is struggling with the Kings. Yes, the Kings had a good season, but I can't see. You can see the age becoming a
You
factor
can,
on Golden
you can.
State. I will say this. Do you know the matchup I would like to see in the finals?
I'm gonna guess probably Lakers Heat.
No. I would love to see Lakers Celtics.
Oh, for the old school rivalry of yours.
The
Yeah.
rivalry renewed in the new school. That to me, and you got to give, you know what? And I'm going to say it right here. You know I'm a LeBron fan. I know you're a LeBron fan. You are a LeBron fan, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you can't blame LeBron came, won a championship, didn't do anything stupid on his way out. Um, but what Rob Pelinka did at that trade deadline, I loved every trade that he made. I beat it I was screaming it from the
Addition by
rooftops.
subtraction of getting rid of Westbrook. Yes, they
It
made the good
wasn't
moves,
it
but
was it wasn't just it's who he got back. They got Rui
Hachimura.
Hachimura. They got Jared Vanderbilt. They got Malik Beasley. They got D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves is
My
playing
favorite player on the whole team, Austin
the,
Reeves.
the Mayo Mamba. He is absolutely killing it. Lonnie Walker coming off the bench. I mean, like I was saying, oh, I hope the Cavs get Malik Beasley. Like they got him on the bench coming
Yeah,
off like 8 minutes a game because they got all these really solid,
solid
amazing
pieces.
bench players and role players and even starters like Rui Hachimura. I thought should have gotten more minutes in Washington. He was a
Washington, yeah.
guy who I even said to you the Cavs should take a look at, and he
Yeah,
ended up becoming a Laker. I said that they should look at Malik Beasley, became a Laker. I told
Laker.
you Jared Vanderbilt I liked, became a Laker.
Rob Pelinka's listening to you.
Rob Pelinka was like, let me listen to Brandon
All
and
things
Joey
Cavs
talk about.
somehow.
Yeah, and he pulled off every trade that I thought would have made sense. And look at this team now. You got AD, you got LeBron, Dennis Schroeder is a serviceable a point guard, plays good D, a lot of high energy. Can make that 10-foot shot he likes so much. I mean, just it's a good team. I would love to see them. I would love to see them in the finals. However, I don't know if I think if AD plays like AD, they can. I think that they will beat they could beat the Nuggets. Um, but I think it would be very interesting to see either. It would be interesting to see either the Lakers and the Celtics as the rivalry, or it would be interesting to see the Lakers and the Heat again as a rematch from the
From the
bubble,
bubble, yeah.
but without the bubble. So Himmy Butler is, and I will never call him anything other than that while he's in the playoffs because he is just a monster. So we'll see as it unfolds. But I want to give all the credit in the world to Rob Pelinka and all those trades he pulled off because that Lakers team was what I think 20-9 or something
Something
after
like that,
after
yeah.
after the All-Star break, after he pulled off all those trades, and they fought their way back into the play in after being down by so many, being out by so many games, and now they're on their second round of the playoffs. So congrats to them, congrats to the Heat, congrats to the Knicks. You beat the crap out of us. Congrats to the Celtics for not shrinking and winning. Because that got dodgy a little
Yeah,
bit.
it
And
did.
the Sixers swept 4-0. They handled their business like they're supposed to, and we will see what happens here in round two.
You like that clip from the Brands World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brands World podcast right here on YouTube.